Hello, this is the formal business report presentation. I am Dallas and I am giving it by myself, and I would like to apologize for my volume. I can't be very loud as I am in a house with other people, though I know volume is an important part of presenting. And also because I am doing this by myself, I would I would hope that there is at least some grace given in how much I may have to look at these note cards as I am performing the entire PowerPoint instead of just a slide or two. But let's go. Uh, this semester, I worked on a formal business report with 6 others within my group at the University of South Alabama in managerial communications. And specifically, this was for a nonprofit. So let's get started. Now, to introduce, the entire goal of this formal business report was to provide not only a plan, but reasonings for the plan and ways to enact the plan for a nonprofit called 1+1 El Salvador. Now, 1+1 El Salvador is located within Mexico, and they provide assistance to those who need it. The thing that we really focused on and the goal of this business report was to provide a path to help 1+1 El Salvador help specifically children within Mexico by getting donations from around the globe. And the way that we could do this is by using financing for the projects using online donations. We have also included the laws and regulations so that things are within reason and they can be done. And we also have ways to help bring engagement and let the success of the plans listed snowball into even more success. So let's get into it. What are the benefits of online donation platforms? Why use them in the first place? Well, there are more than one place to get donors. You have Mexico, of course, and I'm sure 1+1 El Salvador has gone out and found ways to get regional donors, but there are donors all around the world, and specifically, there are many people who want to help children, and by using online donation platforms, we're able to have more accessibility towards global donors. We're able to also have easier payment methods, streamlined process, and overall it just makes things a lot easier when it comes to finding those globally, because of course they aren't there in front of you. Being able to contact them online and use online services is of great benefit. So the suggested online donation platforms that we have listed are Fundraise Up and MX Give. Now, both of these are for two different sectors of help. You have Fundraise Up, which is internationally focused. It's quite literally global, supports over 135 countries. It is very good for those who also do not speak Spanish, which is the, of course, language of Mexico, which 1+1 El Salvador workers speak, I'm sure. And it helps make sure that those people who speak different languages can still communicate with those at 1+1 El Salvador, which is very helpful. But also, we have MX Give. Now, MX Give is more so tailored towards regional help. It's able to help people by getting information of those who are donors within the area, which in this case is Mexico. And it also offers English and Spanish translation for those who may not speak Spanish but are somewhere around the region. And it helps create custom donation campaigns so that people can also get the message out with assistance from MX Give. So these are the online donation platforms. Now, how about finding international donors? Now, you can know that there are donors out there globally. I'm sure 1+1 El Salvador does know that there are people out there who are willing to give them money. A lot of the hard part is getting in contact and well, not even before getting in contact, finding the people to contact. So something that can be done is using GrantStation. Now, GrantStation provides many opportunities to find external funding, which are very helpful for nonprofits, because nonprofits quite literally very much so rely on external funding. And by using GrantStation, there are many benefits to it. So, GrantStation, I believe it's the Google search of grants. This was actually my slide that I created, so I have a bit more information about it. There are 150,000 like plus donor profiles where people want to donate, and they put themselves out there so that hopefully nonprofits can find them and be able to get those donations. I know it has monthly newsletters that provide around 8 different donors along with their specific requirements for what they would want from giving their money, how much money they do want to give, and more information. There is literally ways to search every past donor offer that was on GrantStation and how much they gave and who they gave it to. And I think that this would be unbelievably helpful to a place like 1+1 El Salvador, who is trying to, in this goal of supporting more children, find external funding. And by using GrantStation, it, I think, is a secure way to be able to find those donors, and also get testimonials to be able to see how those donors have had their relationships go with other people who have been getting those donations. And also being able to take on grants, they have their own set of things that would have to be done. Now, grants are, it's important what the donor's requirements are for giving a grant. So, as a nonprofit, one would have to create a sort of team who takes responsibility for the grants, keeps track of where the grant money is going, and reports back to the grantor that they are following the grantor's process. But this also helps minimize risk within the nonprofit, because now you're reliant on more types of funding than just internal, because now you're also reliant on external funding. So, let's go to the next slide. Mexican laws and regulations. Now, a big part of course, dealing with any large amount of money is the laws and regulations that surround that process, and specifically within Mexico this time. Now, as American students, we had to do a lot of research on what these Mexican laws and regulations are. So, there is a governing law, which is the legal framework for crowdfunding, which is governed by the FinTech law. So, that means Mexican donations are governed by the FinTech law, and this is where nonprofits are intermediates between the issuing party, the person giving the money, and the investors of the public, which sounds like a great deal to me, as long as this just has to be something that is brought into account whenever dealing with international donations and external funding. The Mexican crowdfunding legality is made, this FinTech law is made to protect consumers. It promotes innovation. It's a very, useful law, and the Congress of Union luckily made the process easier, all in the hopes to protect people. And being able to ensure consumer protection allows those who are, wanting to be able to give that money, they have the protection there as long as you follow the FinTech law within Mexico. Now, for America, of course, we are students that are within America, so we just wanted to be sure that the communications with America could be done properly when it comes to crowdfunding and engagement, because I'm sure there are a lot of donors here in America who would like to be able to help this nonprofit within Mexico, a bordering country. And so within American laws and regulations for nonprofits, there are 3 regulatory bodies: the SEC, the FINRA, and state regulators. So companies in the US must register with the SEC if they are in control of the crowdfunding, which would have to be done for 1+1 El Salvador. The guidelines for American law given the guidelines for American law are given in the Business Startups Act or the Jobs Act. This is an easy way to be able to find what guidelines you need to follow. And there's requirements that are designed to protect investors, protect those who are giving the money to the nonprofit, stuff that needs to be taken into consideration. So, of course, we can just list laws all day, but how do these laws affect 1+1 El Salvador? Well, of course, quite a bit. Let's see. So, for America and how 1+1 El Salvador interacts with America, nonprofits register with the state's Attorney General or the Secretary of State for donations. Bordering countries, which in this case is very useful because Mexico is a bordering country to America, they get tax write-offs for donations if a U.S.-based company has an income stream from Mexico, or in Mexico, sorry. So that means working with working with an organization under the exemption status allows Americans to get more of their money into the pockets of those who need it due to these exemptions. So, how about how these laws affect within Mexico specifically? Well, this deduction, Mexico's tax law allows for a 7% deduction on taxes, which would be an added benefit for Mexican business or individual donors. So there is ways within law that help guide the process of finding donors and getting donations, because of course that's something the government doesn't really want to cap on, because it's something that is very noble, and it's something that's also very needed. Lots of people have to get funding through donations, and I'm sure the government doesn't want to take up the money don't want to take money from people who just want to give it to help. So, a great way to get this money is also fundraising events. Now, you found online donors, and you have managed to find them and be able to get external funding. Now, how can we further this? How can we have this success snowball? Well, you could have fundraising events. With a bit more funding, you could have local events that boost morale. It keeps the community together. It's helps improve the areas by letting everyone get to know each other. And also, you're able to have digital campaigns that coincide with the fundraiser to then let people get their eyes on what 1+1 El Salvador is doing. We've made multiple ideas for this. There's Football for Futures, which is, let's see here. It is a soccer tournament, which, we call it soccer in America, where there's a fee to join, so that, fundraiser raises funds, and be able to get more money by having sponsors on shirts or banners or stuff like that, which also celebrate the people who are helping give money to the children who need it. There are other ones like coffee tasting, which is, partnering with local baristas, or giveaways, which create spectacle, which then get eyes on what is needed. A lot of people want to support the message of 1+1 El Salvador, but a lot of people don't even know about 1+1 El Salvador, because there's lots of people out there who are trying to help, and using fundraisers and campaigns and digital platforming allows 1+1 El Salvador to stand out a little bit and be able to get more eyes on it. And of course, sponsor engagement. Now you have these people who are sponsoring, who are helping. How do we keep them engaged? How do we keep them within the company? How do we keep them helping with external funding? Well, by creating a website, you can bring in donors and keep them connected with the 1+1 El Salvador nonprofit organization. So it's not sponsoring a student is not just a one-time thing of giving money. It's a relationship that gets to get created between the donor and the child being donated to, which then creates more of a likelihood of that donor further wanting to sponsor maybe other children or wanting to continue sponsoring uh, the original child. This is something that is done uh, by other nonprofits like Compassion International, which they had it done very successfully, where on their website they had profiles for each student that was being sponsored, which allowed the donors to keep up to track with the students that they are helping. Um, and to conclude, these ideas that we have, they are to help the organization by letting others get their eyes on everything. People not only get to get found, people who want to donate not only get found, they get to donate, they get to see the impact of their donations, they get to keep in touch with their donations, all with a team who is tailored to help those external donors get their funds into the pockets of the people who need them, while also following the law. To or I'm sorry, the outcomes, of course, are a more uh, a community who's closer, a community that is improved, a community who is getting the help that they need, and a community that's getting the visibility that they need. The next step after this formal business report would be to form a committee to enact the steps listed within our formal business report. And let the word be known and don't be quiet. And I'd like to thank you for listening about this formal business report, and have a great day. Goodbye.